Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today it's time for another reading update. Recently I finished the first book in the Legend of the Galactic Heroes, called Dawn. It's written by Yoshiki Tanaka. It's a Japanese space opera. It takes place about 800 years into the future, where humanity has turned into a dictatorship. Humanity has expanded into the stars, has abandoned Earth and taken on colonized on new planets. And a part of humanity rebelled. They wanted to decide their own future, and so they split up. And now basically these two factions are at war with each other, and we follow both sides. One side is with Reinhardt, who is from the Galactic Empire. He is very ambitious, and he basically wants to become the new dictator. And so he's trying to raise in the ranks. And he's very smart, good at tactics. And from the other side, from the Free Planets Alliance, we follow Yang, who is like the opposite. He is not ambitious, he has no interest in war and the army, but through circumstances he does get enlisted in the army. And because he's also very smart, he keeps doing the right things and keeps getting noticed and keeps making promotions, and so he becomes an important figure in the army as well, and so they end up clashing with each other. Well, and this book is a bit of a mixed bag. Some parts are really good, especially the space battles. These are described more in a I would say top-down style, very tactical, and the decisions are made by these strategists. And so it's less about a single ship, but more about all the ships together and how they move and how they respond to each other. And I think it's really well done. And the main plot is definitely well written from a story perspective. And the two main characters are definitely very interesting and likable, and they're very different from each other, but also similar in some ways. And the not so well done parts are the other characters. There are a lot of side characters that are underdeveloped, and a lot of them are just names without much character to them. And so if you're a character reader, yeah, you're probably not gonna like this one as much. You definitely need to be a plot reader for this one. And also the writing itself is pretty bad at times. There's too much exposition, too much info dumping. I would say 70–80% is exposition, and yeah, too much. The writing is very flat. Sometimes it can even be a slog. But yeah, for me the good outweigh the bad, but I can see for other people who prefer other things in their stories, it can be a bit of a letdown. But for me it was good enough to keep reading the series. There are like 10 books in the series, so, and they're pretty small, like 200–300 pages, so they're easy reads, or easy to get through at least. And for me there was enough, so yeah, we want to keep reading the series. And then I read The City of Brass, which is a fantasy novel, the first in a trilogy. And I got this one as a present at my birthday a while back from my sister, and so I gave it a shot, and well, I DNF'd it. I read about 100 pages and well, I decided it just isn't for me. It didn't grab me in any way. It takes place in like a fantastical Middle East with like jinns and spirits and like these magical cities. Nothing really wrong with it, but it didn't grab me, and so I decided to not finish it. So yeah, I have to tell my sister now that I didn't like it, but yeah, that's what I thought of it. And so I quickly moved on, and I'm currently reading another sci-fi novel, Contact by Carl Sagan. This is a well-known first contact story. It even has a movie made out of it, which I haven't seen. For me it's all new. But yeah, in this one we follow a woman. Her name is Ellie Arroway, and she's a scientist specialized in radio signals. And so she becomes part of this project who scan the universe for signals. And she becomes the director at some point, and then they discover a signal clearly from life from a different planet. And so they try to figure out what it means. And you kind of get to see the human population responding to this knowledge of extraterrestrial beings, and it focuses a lot on that. It's definitely hard science fiction. In my opinion, it's a bit dry and a bit of a slog. The pacing moves very slow, and the writer focuses a lot on the message on the radio signals and how humanity responds to it, like religions and scientists and the normal people. And a lot of people think it's a message from God or from the devil, or there are a lot of these things that he focuses on instead of the plot. And well, the plot is fascinating enough for me to keep reading, but sometimes it's a bit dry. It has a female perspective, which helps a lot. It reminds me a lot of Timescape, which I read earlier, which also dealt with trying to decipher signals. But in this one, the scientists aren't as unlikable, so that helps a lot as well. But yeah, fun read, and enough to keep reading at least. And I'm definitely curious to see what the message means and well, how they will respond to it as well. And for my next read, I plan on reading The Wish Song of Shannara, which is the third Shannara novel and the last in the first trilogy. And I had a lot of trouble getting a physical copy of this book, at least the 2006 version, which I have the other two novels of. And so I decided to go the digital route with this one. And I also decided to become a member of the library, because, well, I've been reading a lot lately, which is a good thing, but I would also buy all my books I read. It's become a bit more expensive buying all these books. And so I decided to become a member of the library, which will mean reading all these books will cost for me personally a lot less money. Because if I read at least 4 or 5 books a year, I can easily get my money out of it. But yeah, this will mean I will read more digitally. I don't really have an e-reader, so I'll have to read on my phone, which is fine. But yeah, I decided to make the jump. But yeah, The Witch Song is the third one, I really enjoyed the second genre novel, The Elfstones. The first one I didn't really enjoy. I thought it was a Lord of the Rings rip-off. But the second one was a lot better, and I hope the third one is just as good. Because I recently also read Magician, which raised the bar a little bit, because I really enjoyed that one, even more than Elfstone. So I hope Terry Brooks can, with his third novel, raise the quality a little bit more, because I think I will need that with his novels if I want to keep reading the series even more after Wisdom. I believe there are like 35 novels, so it needs to be enough for me to keep reading the series, but we'll see. But yeah, those are the books I'm reading. Like always, let me know what you're reading. Have you read any of these novels? And yeah, and hope to see you again next time.